Now, a lot of people are concerned about internet blackouts and going down EMFs and other things. But I didn't know that the digital currencies, uh, blockchain, and other items have satellites that can do mining for them as well. Listen to this.
Is looking at this as a potential event, and it's considered one of the top 10 risks actually internationally. Again, if the grid goes down, if the internet goes down, ATMs probably won't work at a bank. You won't be able to pump gas. You know, we hear a lot of criticism about blockchain and Bitcoin, for example, but actually in the case of Bitcoin, there's satellites that actually mine those coins. You've probably heard of Starlink, Elon Musk's technology. Also, we have Jeff Bezos. He's going to be going on a first man mission with Blue Origin very soon. So a lot of what's going on in the blockchain space, a little side note, is mining operations even off this planet. San Francisco-based Fastly acknowledged a problem just before 6 a.m. Eastern time. About an hour later, the company said the issue had been identified and a fix has thankfully been applied. Most of the sites soon appear to be back online. But of course, this raises the question of possibly how insecure the internet could be if, for example, we have a grid down scenario. Also, grocery prices are rising. We're seeing this commodity price surge. The Federal Reserve weighing options of whether or not they're going to raise interest rates. Of course, it kept interest rates at zero and near negative in some points with sovereign debt all over the world. They're finally considering if they should inch or budge a little bit as a result of all the inflation we're seeing with common goods, household items, commodities, corn prices. We've seen this in lumber, 2x4s, and now meat rising, skyrocketing in some cases. Costco reported just about a week ago some 20% in a single month over the last 30 days. Now we're seeing plant-based meat companies that were struggling before seeing their sales surge. It says plant-based meat was having a moment before these health events, nabbing celebrity investors, billionaire, record-setting IPOs. Whopper Fast Food, for example, cut a deal with the plant-based food giants. And high-end chefs have even transformed their kitchens to pea protein, soy-based isolate, and a lot of these synthetics. In fact, I think it was in Singapore, they just opened a new restaurant. All the burgers are plant-based, essentially synthetic meat. We've heard about companies such as Impossible Foods, Beyond Burger. In fact, it's very interesting. If you look at actually owns the majority of those shares, it will tell you a little bit about where they think the direction might be going in terms of just getting real meat and cattle. Of course, in short supply, if prices go up, we're going to see increased demand for alternatives like this. Also, we have big news. We've seen great consolidation in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin space this week. I believe is an incredible buying opportunity. That's not financial advice, but I've been guiding all of my students at school, picking apart these opportunities, reviewing all the major DeFi projects right now at bitcoinrich.com. I encourage you to click the link below and join us. Get in today because it's in these bear markets and consolidation phases, and I don't even think we're in a bear market, where the real money is made. It's buying these dips. I always tell my students, buy the dips, get rich. Buy dips, get rich. Like a bull, see red, see opportunity. That's the time to pivot and actually be learning about blockchain tech. And most importantly, expanding your horizons. But we had a story that Bitcoin fell, according to CNBC, after the U.S. government seizes most of the colonial ransom. So there was a ransom paid for the colonial hack, ties into our original story that we opened with. And allegedly, the U.S. government has actually retrieved some of that ransom. Now, first of all, Bitcoin's unhackable. It cannot be hacked. It's never been hacked. So in this case, Bitcoin was not hacked. Let me make that clear. It appears that one of the nefarious beings who was, if this is to be believed, who was operating one of these servers that had his wallet on one of these public servers had been seized by the authorities. It is well known, for example, and I teach this at school, if you have your private keys, there is no way ever that those assets can be seized, ever. It's an impossibility. It's built into the Bitcoin framework and algorithm itself. So Bitcoin accelerated its slide today, falling below the 32,000 level. It's important to keep in mind, though, we were trading at 3,500 last year. We've had a 10x rate of return Since about that time, hitting highs about 65. We've come back, lost about 50% of its value. Again, you got to zoom out here, look at the broad-based perspective, and understand this is actually when you want to be buying. Honestly, this is when you want to be learning about this stuff. Also, U.S. officials said they seized about 2.3 million, about half of the Bitcoin allegedly paid to the hacker group called DarkSide. Again, if it's to be believed, I mean, all this sounds a little bit fishy to me. Very, very convenient. Kind of sounds like a simulation in some regards, leading up into these other simulations that they've planned for, like Cyber Polygon, which occurs early July. So a global glitch, internet shutdown, many web services going down, leading up to some of these other simulated events as global leadership addresses one of the top 10 concerns of the internet potentially shutting down and what that could mean for sovereign nations and interconnected nations, more importantly, all around the world. What would this mean potentially for the banking system? What would happen to the U.S. stock market? For example, the entire internet went down. Would you be able to pump gas? How would Bitcoin withstand that? I actually think Bitcoin will do very well in an event like that. It's actually proven to do very well in numerous sell-offs, numerous bear markets. Again, Bitcoin's never needed a bailout. Only the big banks in the United States have it, and around the world. Bitcoin has more integrity than any institution, in my opinion, and any other technology that's ever been invented. I personally believe this is the buying opportunity of a lifetime. This is how I'm coaching all my students. I encourage you, click the link below, get in now. We just gave out several scholarships.
We're going to end it here. He's pro Bitcoin. I didn't know they could mine these in space and with satellites. I think they're a heck of a lot safer than the banks. I think he's absolutely right there. This is a great time to buy and get in. Do your own research. I'm no financial counselor. Good day.